There is a specific kind of silence that only exists in rural Japan after midnight. It is a heavy, expectant stillness that settles over the concrete platforms of isolated commuter stations, making every rustle of the wind sound like a warning. My name is Ren. I work the night shift as a solo station attendant at Okutama Station, situated at the steep mouth of a dark, jagged mountain pass. My job is simple, mind-numbing, and completely isolated. Sweep the empty platforms, lock the metal vending machines, and wait until the final commuter train passes at 12:45 a.m. After that, the tracks go dead, and I am entirely alone in the dark until 5. It was a cold Thursday in late November. The final train had departed 20 minutes late, its red taillights slowly disappearing into the pitch-black mountain tunnel. I stood alone on platform 1, watching the steel rails gleam under the artificial glare, when a sharp, rhythmic scraping noise echoed from the far end of platform 2, right across the tracks. Bata, 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 bata. It sounded like heavy rubber or wet leather slapping violently against the concrete. "Hello?" I called out, my voice thin and fragile against the void. No answer. The scraping sound stopped instantly, swallowed by the mountain chill. I retreated into the glass office, slid the heavy door shut, and checked the live security monitors. On monitor 4, a dark shape was moving near a green beverage vending machine. The resolution was grainy, plagued by analog static, but the silhouette was unmistakable. Someone was hunched forward on the ground. The figure moved with an unnatural, jerky cadence, pulling its upper body forward using only its elbows. There were no legs. From the waist down, there was nothing but a ragged, dark trailing edge, leaving a thick, wet smear across the concrete. Bata, 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 bata. The camera audio picked it up with horrifying clarity. It was the sound of bare, calloused bones smashing into the concrete at impossible speeds. The entity stopped directly beneath the dome, slowly tilting its head straight into the lens. Its face was a pale, distorted oval with wide, lidless eyes reflecting the harsh, fluorescent light like shattered glass. Its unhinged jaw hung open, revealing a bottomless, pitch-black cavern of a mouth. It smiled. Then, with a terrifying, explosive burst of speed, it launched itself off the platform onto the steel tracks below. The monitor went black. The office lights flickered violently, humming with dead voltage. The low, rhythmic scraping sound started up again, but this time it was right outside my office window, accelerating down the tracks straight toward the glass door. Bata, 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 bata. I threw my entire weight against the mechanical backup lock just as a violent impact shattered the lower corner of the pane. Webbed cracks raced up the glass. I fell backward, scrambling frantically beneath the heavy steel security desk. Above me, a pale, skinless elbow hooked over the window frame. The unhinged, weeping face of the creature pressed flat against the cracked glass, peering upside down into the dark booth. The legend flashed through my mind. The Teke Teke. If she finds you, she cuts you in half so you match her form. She began to violently slam her upper torso against the fractured frame. The glass buckled, groaning under the force. One more hit and she would be inside the small booth. I closed my eyes, pressing my hands over my ears, waiting for the impact. Suddenly, a sharp, familiar electronic chime echoed through the station. The automated morning announcement system powered on as the digital clock clicked to precisely 5:00 a.m. A blinding beam of light cut through the station as the early morning freight train roared out of the tunnel, its horn blowing a deafening, echoing blast. The weight on the glass vanished instantly. I waited beneath the desk for nearly an hour until the morning shift operator arrived. When I finally crawled out, the glass was covered in thick smears of old blood and deep, gouged indents from bare bone. I quit that morning. But whenever I ride the subway late at night, and the train screeches to a sharp halt on an empty platform, I look down at the dark space between the tracks. Because in the echoing shadows, I can still hear it waiting for the final shift to end. Bata, 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 bata.